Can you not? I'm trying to film some trendy content for YouTube.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to this Wednesday's YouTube video. Thank you for coming back here and showing up, supporting my content and hearing what I have to say and share with you. So today, this one's for my ladies, and we're gonna talk about that time of the month because Lordy, it sucks. But it's a great thing, it's a blessing, and I want to coach you on how to work through that and let it work for you. So statistics show that almost half of all women believe that their menstrual cycle affects their ability to work out and execute their workouts to the greatest ability that they have in the gym. So people believe that it affects training and performance, and I'm here to tell you that we can actually use that time of the month to help us. So little tidbits to know. Women use carbs most efficiently in the first 0 to 14 days of their cycle, and so that's called the follicular phase. And we're actually better at using fats more efficiently as energy in the last 14 days of our cycle. So that's the luteal phase in days 14 to 28 of our cycle. So the effects of energy deficiency or energy availability can be improved by adjusting our training and adjusting our nutrition to be more in sync with our cycles. So strength training, for example, is more advantageous in the first half of our cycle because in the first half of our cycle, we're better at recovering and adapting. But in the first half of our cycle, our estrogen levels are higher, making us more prone to injury. So something to note and something to just be cautious of when you are pushing yourself in the gym in those first 0 to 14 days. During the luteal phase, so remember the luteal phase is the last 14 days of our cycle, days 14 to 28, progesterone increases, right? So that's the other hormone, not estrogen, but progesterone. So progesterone has a thermogenic effect, and what that means is that it makes us feel hot. It increases our overall body temperature. So that could explain why you might be in the gym and you might be working out doing the same thing but sweating bullets, right? Or having hot flashes, so to speak. So sort of something else to kind of note and touch on while we're on this subject is iron deficiencies. So iron is an issue, a deficiency that a lot of women have. And it can harm female athletes on their fitness journey. And the reason being is that athletes and people working out in the gym require more iron to build up their red blood cells during the requirements of regular exercise, right? So we need more than someone who is sedentary all day long. So iron is important also in the electron transport system, so allowing for energy to be available for our bodies to use during that time. So we need iron, right? So something to kind of consider is supplementing with iron during that time. Being that we lose iron in our menstrual cycle might be more necessary during that time of month. So what do I do as a coach when I'm programming for athletes during their menstrual cycle? Well, first and foremost, I educate you on working through your cycle. So we will do moderate intensity exercise like yoga during the first few days leading up to your period. Around days 3 to 5 of your period, we're going to take advantage of that increase in estrogen. So we might incorporate some harder strength training, which also could alleviate some cramping for you. That'll allow you to, that estrogen will allow you to work out harder. I will push you up until week 3. So in that late follicular phase, in days 14 to 28, and the mid-luteal phase, estrogen is higher. So one of its effects helps you build muscle mass. So that's when I'm able to push your strength training and possibly even add in some more cardio, right? Progesterone isn't as high. You're not going to be getting those heat waves. Third, I'm going to be wary of making sure that you understand what your strength training protocols are, how to execute those exercises correctly, because when that estrogen is higher, I don't want you to injure yourself. So when ovulation is high, I'm going to be wary of you being prone to injury. And that's particularly with ligaments and tendons during that time. Number 4, we are going to take advantage of estrogen, right? So while it may make you more prone to injury, it also has a good effect on your mood, which is going to make you more motivated to work out. And it also has a neuromuscular effect. And so its neuromuscular effect is that it signals the ability to activate your muscles. And also there's evidence that suggests that during that time in our cycle with those higher levels of estrogen, that our recovery and our training is improved. So if you're recovering quicker, you're able to go back and push hard the next day as well. Also, estrogen has a protective function against muscle damage. It reduces inflammatory response, so less inflammation, less muscle soreness, and thus it might reduce your muscle soreness. Number 5, burn fat, right? So estrogen reduces the amount of carbohydrates the body uses for fuel, and instead it uses fat. It burns fat. So the theory is to use more fats for energy during this time. So there's also evidence too that during this time your metabolism actually speeds up. So during the end of your cycle, it might explain why you crave more carbs. So we're going to really time our nutrition there to be used most efficiently and for us, right? So we might be able to ramp up some more fat. If you're in a fat loss phase, we might be able to keep fats where they are instead of putting you in any kind of deficit and just using that menstrual cycle to sort of facilitate that fat loss. If you go too far, however, it can be counterproductive, right? So if you're trying to lose weight and you're in the second phase of your cycle, doing HIIT cardio, and not adding carbs and increasing your calories, your body might hold on to fat, right? It might grab onto that because we're burning a lot. We're not adding carbs, which is what our body is using more efficiently, and we're increasing calories and from the wrong places. So we also just need to be wary of that. Number 6, don't overheat in week 4, right? We know progesterone is going to be high. We know that our body temperature is going to be higher than usual. So I want to coach you to maybe have some cooling strategies. So maybe some breathing strategies that we'll incorporate there. Progesterone is also a calming hormone, so it might make you feel more relaxed. So maybe during that time in your cycle, it might be most beneficial to you to utilize indoor walking or indoor cycling or maybe a yoga class or a Pilates class, something that isn't going to be as high intensity and have as great of an effect on your basal, on your body temperature. And then number 7, last thing, best thing, is take it easy, girl, right? So after the 3rd week, taper down and do more restorative exercise. So that's what I was just talking about. Things like yoga, things like Pilates. If you're trying to lose weight, this is a great time to do long walks or low intensity training. In a world where we're surrounded by high intensity workouts, we beat ourselves to the ground, right? So my goal for you is to help you, coach you on not giving up during this time, because I think so many people kind of throw in the towel and they kind of, my body is, going through a menstrual cycle. I can't work out. I can't do it. But there's so much to be learned around this time in a female's, monthly cycle that we can use for us instead of working against us. So really just what I want to kind of coach you on is how to use your food to work towards your goals during this during your menstrual cycle, right? How to use your workouts to work towards your goals during your menstrual cycle. How to allow yourself to be forgiving with your body, right? When hormones that we can't control are causing effects internally in our body. I want this to be an enjoyable process for you. And I'm just so grateful for all of your support and for you tuning in today and hearing what I have to say. And I hope that next time Lady Jane comes and visits you in this month or next month, whenever she's blessing you with her greatest gift, that you're able to sort of use some of these tips to help you reach your goals a little bit easier. So thanks for your support. Make sure you like, comment if you resonated with something that I shared. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you know when I post content each and every Wednesday. Thanks, guys.